Mario Kart! Hey!
This is the game you're all talking about now, right? It's honestly really crazy to think that it has been a whopping 11 years since the release of the last Mario Kart game with 8 on Wii U. Obviously with Deluxe and the Booster Course Pass, we were showered with content for years to come, but that foundation was set over a decade ago. And looking at the sales data, yeah, it turns out that was totally fine, actually. Everyone was cool with it. And if you count Tour and Home Circuit as mainline Mario Kart games and you call them 9 and 10, then quite frankly, you deserve every red shell that comes your way. Being the massive Nintendo fan that I am, of course I got a Nintendo Switch 2 at launch. And of course, because I got a Nintendo Switch 2 at launch, I also bought Mario Kart World, the physical copy, because I'm just that insane. I don't know how much choice I had in the matter. Like, I could have got the bundle with the pack in, but the box is kind of cool. Whether you get the console bundle with the digital copy of the game, or you're a filthy capitalism supporter like me and you buy the standard Switch 2 with the physical Mario Kart World, chances are there will be a time in your life where this game is in your possession. I'm pretty sure like 110% of the human population own 8 Deluxe, so it's inevitable. I'm not really going to be here to discuss whether or not this game alone is worth buying a Switch 2 for, and I'm not really here to argue whether or not that this one Mario Kart game is worth $80. Quite frankly, this is a novel concept, but if it's your money we're talking about here, you can decide whatever the hell you want to do with it. There's too much yelling on social media for this stuff, fellas. It's just video games here. I want to drive as the snowman. Somehow that's going to make some people on social media mad. I have been spending a lot of my early Nintendo Switch 2 days playing a whole lot more than just Mario Kart World, and I'll have a big launch experience extravaganza on the channel very soon, but it turns out I actually do have a lot of thoughts on this one game in particular, so I had to give it its own individual little spotlight. You read the title of this video, you already have an idea of where I'm going with this, but there's a lot of nuance here. Let's talk about everything, because wow, there's a whole lot. This ain't just another Mario Kart game, folks. There's a lot to talk about. Yo, where the hell's the Mercedes-Benz sponsorship? Uh-oh, he said the magic word. This video is sponsored by Rocket Money. Listen here, everybody, it's brand new video game console time, and yes, a big one-time purchase can definitely sting, but you know what stings even worse? Realizing that you're signing up for all these subscriptions that are just lingering over time, and you forget to cancel them. For example, maybe you sign on to one subscription service to watch some Squid Game, and then you forget to cancel it because you just want to be ready for there to be more Squid Game, and you forget. You're wasting all that money not watching Squid Game when you really just want to watch more Squid Game. I know I'm making this a whole lot like just about Squid Game. It could be about Spotify too. You know, that counts. I'm just excited for Squid Game, you guys. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower your bills, and overall just help you manage your money even better. Budgeting your money is more important now than ever before, and with Rocket Money, you can create a customized budget in a matter of seconds thanks to the app showing you where all of your money is going at any given time, and it'll give you insights on how to budget your money even better. Everybody's fallen victim to those subscription services that you just forget about and you're being charged every month, and that sucks. But with Rocket Money, you throw your bank account at it, it'll show you every single subscription that you're a part of in a nice old list, and it may be able to help you cancel them in just a few taps. And who knows, maybe after using Rocket Money, the hot new video game console of your dreams will be well within arm's reach. So, what are you waiting for? Take control of your finances today and go over to rocketmoney.com/AntDude to get started for free. Thanks so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video, and now, here comes the game that you all came here to see. My general rule of thumb here is the most productive way to look at Mario Kart World is not so much whether or not it's better or worse than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Obviously, we will all have opinions as to which one we like more, but after spending hours and hours in this game, this is really not a direct sequel. It is Mario Kart at heart, but this is a different Mario Kart, more different than we've experienced in a long time. Though there are plenty of things that you would come to expect in a brand new entry in this series after a decade. For one, races no longer have a limit of 8 or 12 racers. Now we have 24. And considering this is Mario Kart we're talking about here, this isn't just, oh hey, there's more players on the screen now. No. That means it's absolute chaos. More characters are getting insane items in the back like blue shells and lightning bolts, and you can be all the way up in 5th place and still be subjected to just getting bananas and coins. You combine that with the tracks being so much bigger now, and filled with lively obstacles. If you were playing Mario Kart for the pure chaos of it all, that's here in spades, and I love it so much. But maybe at first when you're playing this game, you think that the world is just a little bit bit too big, a little bit too barren. These tracks are extremely wide. Do you really need the tracks to be this big? It just feels like a lot of the times I'm driving around doing a whole lot of nothing, but the thing that I think I like the most about Mario Kart World is that the skill ceiling is dramatically higher than any Mario Kart game before it. Before, you would just have to get good at drifting, right? Like, okay, you gotta hold it for a little bit, you get the blue sparks, and then boom, you go a little bit fast, and maybe you can be just good enough to mushroom past a blue shell. But here, no, we got grinding, we got wall riding, we got charge jumps so you can jump straight up in the air and jump over red shells that are coming your way. That's sick. You like performing tricks? Well, hey, now you can just mash the trick button like crazy, and you just keep spinning all over the place. You're doing sick poses, and oh, it feels so good. And if you want to add insult to injury, you can do a charge jump and land on someone else, bounce off of their head, and nail a trick on your way down. That's great. There are so many more movement options than ever before in Mario Kart, and if you're just trying to be a little bit risky and figure out the best way to tackle every single track, don't worry, there may be a lot more traffic along the way, a lot of people driving cars in this universe. If you hit another vehicle driving straight towards your head, it doesn't automatically destroy you now, it just kind of leans you over for a little bit. All of the gravity mechanics and even driving underwater from 8 Deluxe, that is gone. But do not take that as a downgrade. This game wants you to experiment with all these different options that are now in your toolbox, and man, when you can nail some of these jumps, when you hit this grind just right and then jump to another grail rind, maybe you want to ride onto this wall a little bit, and then boom, there you go, nice little shortcut. It feels so good, and that is one of the primary reasons why this game is simply different than the Mario Kart games of before. I went into a majority of these tracks thinking they were pretty lame. Thematically, a lot of them are just not as interesting as some of the greatest tracks of 8 Deluxe. But you spend enough time in them, you try to learn the intricacies and the hidden pathways of every single one. These are so intelligently designed, you just gotta get better at driving. It's one of the reasons why Crash Team Racing is still one of the best car races of all time, because you can do simple racing for sure, but the skill ceiling is so high and therefore so satisfying, and this is finally the first time where it feels like there's a lot of skill that's required to be good at Mario Kart. And that may not be for everybody, but damn it, it's for me. There is a coin shell that'll drop coins behind it, as well as just going down the straight and middle of the track. You got hammers you can throw in an arcing motion, and what's cool about that is they'll stick in the ground for a little bit, so you have to watch out not just above, but also in front of you. Good addition. You got some returning items like the feather making an appearance in the races for the first time in a long time, and that extra high jump that you can get out of it just makes the experimenting in this game that much more fun, because if you're missing a charge jump, don't worry, maybe this high jump will get you there instead. The lightning strike effects are less damaging than before. The blooper effects, I feel like they mess with my vision more than before. And then you got a completely new idea with Kamek. This is interesting. You'll summon Kamek, he'll fly in front of you and transform every racer in its path into a new NPC. That alone is kind of just whatever, but it actually acts like a bit of a preview, because in front of all those racers, Kamek will now throw in a brand new obstacle of the characters that they turn the racers into. If they turn you into a Goomba, watch out, because there's gonna be a bunch of Goombas playing Frogger with your carts right in front of you. Overall, it's a good lineup of items. I'm still just very glad that they haven't gone back to the lightning cloud for Mario Kart Wii, because man, that's contender for the worst item of all time. I'm so glad that's stuck in the past. The roster has been handled pretty differently as well. It's a lighter roster in terms of quantity to make room for the main characters that we all know and love, a bunch of costumes for those characters, and the inclusion of playable NPCs. So you have no weird fluff anymore like Pink Gold Peach and Tanuki Mario. You got no Nintendo crossovers now like Link and Villager, no Koopalings, which I'm actually a bit upset about because I became a Larry main in 8 Deluxe and he's just currently MIA in the game's launch, and that's upsetting. There's no Diddy Kong too. This boy's never gonna get respect. I don't understand what's going on. You redesign him, and then you're not gonna put him in at launch? He already has the stigma of being this ungodly expensive character in Tour. Why do you not give him respect? Also, despite there very clearly being a Piranha Plant and Goomba combo pack at the very end of the character select screen, that's not indicative of that being a playable racer. It just means there's more NPCs to unlock. That's all that means. There's no combo racer in this game. The problem is Nintendo, now I want that. Good job. A lot of people are also very confused as to why the base game doesn't include any Nintendo crossovers like Link and Animal Crossing and Mario Kart 8. Here's the thing though, I'm convinced those characters and those tracks were added to 8 simply as a means to just try and get some more sales in a pretty desperate time in Nintendo's life. That kind of makes sense in my mind because it's such a big deal at the end of the day, so when you look at World, which is coming out at a time where Nintendo's riding really high, they're gonna save that in the holster for something else way down the line when things are tough once again. I would be more upset as to why there's no Diddy Kong in this game, alright? Like, what the hell are we doing? And no Funky Kong? This game sucks. Let's be real though, he's likely going to be DLC. Let's not kid ourselves here. Whatever you say about the launch of this game is all fine and dandy and justified, but this is going to have a long shelf life ahead. This is going to be a very different game in 5 years' time. So this video could be very dated in a few months, but I'll just say this much. If Larry doesn't make it into the final roster, I am actually going to lose it. Also, Donkey Kong is different now. We're all just going to have to get used to it. But yeah, the main characters now have costumes, a la Mario Kart Tour. Daisy is, of course, the best girl. Her outfits confirm that. She looks great in every single option of her wardrobe, and I'm so happy that she looks great now because, like, I love Daisy so much, but she didn't have teeth in 8 Deluxe, and just, it was hard to defend that, you know? You no longer have basic color options for Yoshi, instead they're all tied to costumes now, which is an interesting choice, and we also have no colors for Birdo and Shy Guy now. Okay, less options there, fine, whatever. But we do have Captain Toad and Toadette, we have a dapper as hell King Boo, Waluigi's taco stand is finally real, and child labor Mario and Luigi. Thank God. And now joining the roster as first-time racers, we have NPCs. We got enemies like the Piranha Plant, the Goomba, the Sidestepper, the Coin Coffer, and friendlies like the Penguin, the Pianta, the Snowman, and yes, even the Moo Moo Cow. Everybody loves the cow. I'm already sick of seeing the cow, but I get it. You have your fun. You can be the cow if you want to. I'm gonna be Swoop instead. Dude, they got motherfucking Peepa in this? The biggest downside with these NPCs is they don't have costumes. If they're returning characters like Shy Guy, King Boo, and Lakitu, yeah, they have at least one extra costume they can play around with, but you want to play as, I don't know, Evil Spike? You don't have that, sorry to say. You would think if there was any time to bring back the Honey Queen from 7, it would be now, but sadly, that's not the case. As for Rob the Robot making an appearance, as he's deserved for a long time, no. They massacred my boy. The biggest problem with these guys though is that unlocking them is kinda dumb because they're tied to the Kamek item. You want new costumes? Pretty easy. You just drive around the map, you find these Yoshi food stands, you pick up a bag of food, and the food that's inside may or may not give you a new costume that'll be permanently unlocked in the character select screen. That's fine, but if you want to play as, I don't know, Fishbone, you just gotta hope that someone behind you gets the Kamek item, and then when you transform, you just gotta hope that it's a Fishbone. I guess because you have so many options available to you, this wasn't really the most upsetting thing in the world, but it's still just weird. You're gonna put the Cataquack as a racer in this game, and I just gotta hope and pray that I get turned into one first? Weird call. And you want one other big change? Well, okay, pick your favorite racer, and then pick your favorite vehicle. That's it. No more customization. It's just the weight class and the vehicle type. That's all that matters. You don't got to worry about the wheels and the glider. No. It's just, I don't know, you want to play as a character with Lil Dumpy? You could play as your favorite character in Little Dumpy. Have a good day. The only real customization that you have come in the form of stickers, which are almost like achievement emblems because you get them for nailing enough tricks and going a long enough distance. They only really affect like your name tag when you're online in the races. So when you get your points at the end, like it shows you your little sticker like right there. You have to zoom in on it, but there it is. I mean, I do like achievement hunting, so I guess like I'm not totally against this, but I would like a few more customization options. I don't want anything to really mess with how the cart functions, but you're gonna give me all these fun little graphics, you gotta give me a few more options with that, you know? Like hell am I gonna really care about having, I don't know, 14 as one of the stickers on offer when I boot the game up for the first time. Like, I don't care about that. Do you care about that? I don't care about that. This has all been just a big old ramble fest of every little minute change I can think of before we even get to the racing itself. We haven't even done a whole lot of that yet. But finally, yes, pick your favorite character or costume, pick your favorite vehicle, pick your favorite sticker, I guess. And then there you go, we're in the world. And it's gorgeous, ain't it? I've seen many debates as to whether or not this game actually looks better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, considering now we are on brand new hardware. And I think it's more so a testament to how good, for no real reason, 8 Deluxe was. There's so much great fine detail in that game, still to this day, despite it being over a decade old, that yes, if you want to cherry pick specific locations, there are instances where 8 Deluxe does look better. But in the grand scheme of things, you gotta give World so much credit. There's a day-night cycle for this world. It feels so much more lively with traffic and roaming animals. They took that idea from Double Dash where you can see another course on the horizon and made that the entire world now. You angle yourself just right and you can see where you're about to drive to. And then the characters themselves, like, they really made 8 Deluxe look like garbage with those character models, man. All the drivers got these bouncy new redesigns and their faces just have so much more emotion. And need I remind you, last time they didn't give Daisy teeth. In an official interview, the development team elaborated that when it came to 8 Deluxe, they wanted it to be sleek, futuristic, have everything look aerodynamic with a whole lot of edge. And they achieved that. When it came to World, they wanted it to be more playful with handcrafted touches and make the vehicles look like they can handle all terrain. This is what I'm saying, man. World isn't necessarily just better or worse than the game previously. It's different, and I love what they went with. And I gotta tell you, if these character models are only exclusive to this game and they don't use these designs going forward, I'm gonna be mad because look how happy Yoshi is here, man. I need more of this. This is Mario Kart World. There's a big world to explore this time around. This is the core foundation of everything that ties this game together. You got Grand Prix mode, a brand new Knockout Tour mode, you have a free roam option, and the classic Versus mode. And it doesn't matter which one of these you select, the idea kinda remains the same. There are 30 different tracks this time around in the base game, and you can play them in the typical 3-lap structure if you're so inclined. And once again, once you learn how to do wall rides and grinding and really min-maxing every single second on the racetrack, you're gonna have a really good time. But once you enter the second race of Mushroom Cup and Grand Prix mode, it's so apparent that that is not really what this game is about. You see, in all 8 of the traditional Grand Prix Cups, the first race, yeah, classic Mario Kart rules, you go 3 laps and then boom, you're done. But now in the second race, you're driving from where you just finished off to the next course in what's something that everyone is now calling intermission tracks, before ultimately ending up in the location that you want to go to and doing one set of laps there before moving on and doing it again for race 3 and 4. Knockout Tour, the brand new mode, quite frankly, this is one of the best modes of all time. While Grand Prix still has the core idea of you finish a race and then you have a few seconds of breathing time with menus in between, Knockout Tour is you drive from one corner of the world to another in a non-stop 10 to 15 minute race with Battle Royale rules. Now, along this gigantic track, there are these gates that if you're in the last, 4 places of the group, you're just knocked out, and then you have to either watch everyone else race or just back out and try to jump back into a new one. You want to talk about pure chaos, man, this mode is incredible. And as a further testament to the whole intermission courses being the core bulk of the game idea, you can see on the menu here that they try to make a point about you driving from one major track to another. Quite frankly, you're so in the thick of it, it never really occurs to me that I'm driving through a lot of these major areas. I don't really care about going into these individual courses for the Knockout Tour. I just want to make sure I'm surviving until the end. So the fact that the world designers were able to smoothly transition from one area to another and not feel like so many of them are these harsh cuts, it's a true testament to world design because it's really, really fun. I'm pretty sure some of the Xenoblade developers at Monolith Soft are responsible for the world design. I mean, they also worked on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well, so if you really want big open areas that are fun to explore, dude, Monolith Soft, they always know what they're doing. That's just a fact of life. And similar to Grand Prix, you have 8 different rallies here as options as well. And just a cute little nugget of information right here, all of the rally icons have equivalents to the Grand Prix Cups. Like there is an Ice Flower rally that matches up with the Fire Flower Cup. The Acorn rally is matching up with the Leaf Cup. The Spiny rally matches up with the Shell Cup. It's a cute touch. I like that. And maybe if you play the Knockout Tours in single player mode, you'll go, okay, it's kind of alright. It's kind of chaotic, but I get the idea. I don't really see the selling point. Go online. Dude, go online and play Knockout Tour where everybody is out for blood. This is one of the greatest multiplayer experiences Nintendo's ever come up with. Grand Prix is still cool. Honestly, because it's different, it's probably my favorite Grand Prix mode of any Mario Kart ever, but Knockout Tour. Oh man, playing Knockout Tour with people who are good is magical. But again, the core idea of this game, man, it's all about the intermission courses, and there's a whole debate as to whether or not they're a good idea, because honestly, if you go into the Versus mode and you check every single option available to you, there are 202 different routes you can partake in. That's insane. Now, of course, I think it is impossible for all 202 of them to be good. Some of them are just straightaways with not a whole lot of excitement going on. And I guess that is a downside because, who doesn't want the game to be good? But by diving into Grand Prix mode, by diving into Knockout Tour, by playing races online, it feels like no 2 race is ever the same. And as a result, that is why this is now my new favorite Mario Kart game. If you look at some of these individual tracks, again, a few of them don't really feel all that strong. Have you tried Bowser's Castle doing the typical 3-lap structure? It's pretty boring, to be honest. It's one of the weakest Bowser's Castles in the entire franchise. But maybe if you only did Grand Prix, it wouldn't register like that because the drive to get to Bowser's Castle is really cool and ominous. Peach Stadium is another interesting example because it's by far not one of the best tracks in the game, but you would think it was absolutely one of the worst tracks of all time because the first time you see it in Grand Prix mode, it's just a stupid oval. Nothing exciting going on. It's just a basic ass oval. And then that's it. But the location itself is so big that one experience is not indicative of the entire experience because Peach Stadium shows up in a second Grand Prix. 2 tracks, that and Crown City, show up in 2 different Grand Prix because there's so much stuff going on. I still think Peach Stadium is not good. But that is very cool. And really, if you've taken any look at social media now, you've seen some people pulling off some crazy tricks in most of the courses of this game. No matter what you think about these individual tracks now, in a year's time, those opinions are going to be totally different because wow, people are going to be pulling off some crazy speedrun strats, guaranteed. And you got a bunch of returning tracks as well, but rather than leaving them as their own individual thing, they're incorporated into the world like everything else. Airship Fortress from DS and Toad's Factory from Wii. For the most part, they're pretty unchanged from their original counterparts. There's some new grind rails to go on, there's some new walls you can ride on, and they're fun. I enjoy them, they're a good time. Then you have completely revamped classics like Wario Stadium and Choco Mountain from 64 that almost seem unrecognizable from those original counterparts. Wario Stadium in 64 was lame as hell, dude, but now the bumps are way bumpier, there's more explosions going on. Oh, it feels great. And Choco Mountain, the whole idea of it being like a chocolate mountain is completely gone now. Instead, it is a charging chuck factory, I guess, because they're all over the place, and I like it. It's neat, it's different. If you have a specific chocolate-themed quota you want to fill, it's still there in 8 Deluxe. Have a good time, but I like what they did here. Honestly, one of the biggest achievements for the entire game, Sky High Sundae is here, and it's not absolute dog shit. Dude, this track sucked so bad in 8 Deluxe. You want to talk about just having straight up ovals, like this sucked. It was bright and colorful, sure, but there was nothing going on, and then the camera angles would be so bad you would jump off a ramp and then you can barely see under you. It sucked. It was such a stupid addition. How could it possibly be good? You simply allow the player to take advantage of all these new movement options, and the amount of possibilities that are here now, it's not endless, but it's way more than we had before, and I'll go as far to say that now, Sky High Sundae, I like this track. Never thought I would say that, but I do. And no spoilers here, I don't want to ruin the moment for anybody, but Rainbow Road in this game, oh my god, it's one of the greatest tracks of all time. But with all the fan service this game holds with the returning courses, what's funny, there's no Super Circuit courses in here, which is kind of crazy. Listen, I'm not a Super Circuit fan, okay? I think the game is not good. But the tracks that they brought in and remixed in 8 Deluxe were fantastic and some of the best courses in that game. Cheeseland, Ribbon Road, I think the Mario Stadium in that game is really cool. The fact that they went so hard on the Super Circuit tracks and then it just gets no love here is wild. Considering how much they really wanted to focus on the world design, I don't know how Cheeseland really would have fit into everything, but damn it, it still would have been cool. So Grand Prix, very fun. Knockout Tour, incredible. Versus Mode has a new lease on life because you have so many more route options that you're not going to see in Knockout Tour and Grand Prix. But if you want to take some time to relax and do a little bit of exploration, there is a brand new free roam mode. It's already really cool that you can drive throughout this entire world in the confines of different modes where you're racing other people. Now, thanks to the Xenoblade developers, I have no doubt in my mind, you can explore every single nook and cranny of every single space here, and it is awesome. Some people have argued that it's just far too open and there's not enough things to do, and I do kind of agree, but that being said, there is still a whole lot to do and see here. You're not just driving for the sake of it, even though that is kind of fun. You got a bunch of Peach medallions you can find, there are question mark panels that are super hidden, and most importantly, there are P-Switch missions. Oh my god, mission mode is back. I love these so much. You find a P-Switch and then you click it and then boom, time to lock in. You got tech challenges like timing up wall jumps and grinds. You got these basic straightaways that have new obstacles in the way like boulders and enemies. You got blue coin challenges where they take these mini areas, fill them with coins, and then boom, get them in a short time limit. Those are fun. And I feel like the craziest of all, there are additional mini races here. You hit a switch in something like the middle of the ocean, okay? And suddenly gates will pop up and other races will show up, and then you just have a mini race that you can do right then and there. You're not even technically racing because the other drivers are just there. It's just a matter of you hitting all the gates in one specific time limit. But like, honestly, I would love if that were an option for multiplayer. You can do free roam with other people, that's great, but you can't do the P-Switch missions. I want to do these extra races with friends, even if ultimately they're kinda lame. It just adds so much more depth to this world. And where that anger almost kind of set in was there are tribute races in multiple spots of this gigantic map. This is crazy to me. There are a few Super Mario Kart tracks that have been recreated on the ground floor nearby some other existing tracks. You hit a switch and then boom, race on the Super Nintendo track. It plays the Super Nintendo music, just do the 3 laps, boom, you're done. I want to race on these, damn it, Nintendo. Why won't you let me race these with friends? That's so cool. Dude, all I have to do is update the game so you can track the missions available on the map, because the fact that you can't right now is actually insane. People are counting upwards of 400 different missions available to you in this entire space. You mean I just have to find them myself with no guidance whatsoever? That's insane. The only thing the game tracks are the question mark panels because they're tied to the actual in-game tracks. That's it. Everything else, good luck, idiot. I have no doubt that's going to change in the future, but as it stands, mission mode, I'm going to call it mission mode here, is such a good time. I have spent so many hours just driving, trying to tackle as many of them as humanly possible, as well as getting some of the Peach medallions and question mark panels. Why not? Those are actually how you unlock mirror mode in this game. It's oddly hidden this time around. You have to get 10 of each of the 3 different collectibles and then do the special cup again, and then you unlock mirror mode. Fine, whatever, I guess this is a reward. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like months or years until everybody hits every single mission in this game. Like, God, there's so many. Oh, hey, you can chase Nabbit in the overworld too. How are more people not talking about this? Oh, and yeah, by the way, there are sometimes big vehicles you can control as well. What? Sometimes you'll find a giant truck with the back open, has a question mark symbol, then you drive into it, and okay, now suddenly you're driving the truck. Why not? There's a big helicopter you can do the same thing in, and also a giant jet boat for the water. You have land, sea, and air, gigantic options. They can show up in races for like a really fun edge against the competition, but the fact that they're here at all is bonkers, bro. It's insane. And when talking about free roam, you have to give so much credence to the soundtrack. This is one of the greatest soundtracks of any Nintendo game, period. Honestly, the majority of music for the individual tracks, I couldn't hum it to you to save my life. But the amount of remixes here that pulled at my heartstrings every single time, oh, it was blowing me away. Because not only do you have typical Mario Kart remixes, and you got mainline Mario songs getting remixed, like from Mario 2, that's really cool. You have tracks from Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2. Wario Land has music in here. WarioWare has music in here. Mario Paint, Donkey Kong Country, Yoshi's Island, and Yoshi's Story. A bunch of tracks from Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, the Captain Toad theme, the Mario drawing song that would then become the 3D Land Special 8 world music. It's an absolutely godly soundtrack, and there's no music player mode. What do you mean, Nintendo? You're driving me insane. Everything I've seen regarding some of the complaining about the intermission courses being boring and free roam being too open and barren just kind of makes it apparent to me that there are some people who don't really want that in their Mario Kart game. There are going to be people that want the more structured Mario Kart experience, and that is here. You can have that, but I adore that they went with this open world idea and tried to give the players multiple ways to enjoy it, and quite frankly, I still think that there's more that they could do. I always thought mirror mode was pretty lame, honestly. I don't want to do the tracks in mirror mode, I'm not a big fan of that. Instead, let's get something like reverse mode. Maybe take the 8 Grand Prix Cups and the 8 Knockout Tour rallies, and then just flip them. Let me go from where you would typically end, and then go back to the start. You can easily do that in the Grand Prix. Knockout Tour maybe will take a little bit more work, but hell, why not? When you go into versus mode, I would love if you can preset a list of 4 races that you can do rather than going back to the menu every single time. Like, let me make my own custom cup here. That'd be sick. Or even better, a random mode. Let me squad up with some friends and then don't even tell me where we're starting or where we're going. We just have to figure it out as we go. That sounds great. And you want more fan service? Bring back the Mario Kart Double Dash All Cup mode. If there's any time to do it, it's here. With 202 route options, bro, you can easily have me driving throughout the entire lap, going up and down, hitting every single landmark in one solid run. Dude, Knockout Tour in an all cup mode equivalent, having like a 45-minute long race, that sounds like absolute insanity, but it sounds so fun, oh my god. Did you know there's actually a hidden LAN mode option? You hold a couple of buttons and click in the left stick while on the wireless multiplayer mode, and then boom, look at that, LAN mode. So now I can get up to 24 real life people to play this game at once. Dude, the future of this game is gonna be insane. Oh, and battle mode is here too. There's balloon battle and coin runners, there's multiple tracks you can choose. It's fine. I stopped being a fan of Mario Kart battle mode a long time ago, honestly, once the races started to become so much better, but I'm happy it's here. The N64 Big Donut track is returning here, and that's awesome, mostly because it's actually part of the intermission track that leads into Bowser's Castle. And once again, that intermission track is really cool. I would love if you can like drive out into the ocean and find like a giant GameCube so we can have that track returning as well. Like, Bro, go all out with this. There's still so much you can do. I fully acknowledge that most of this video is me just raving like crazy about this game, but that's genuinely how I feel. I love this game so much. There's very clearly more that they can do, and I guess I could do more complaining because why not have more of these options available at launch, but I'm also a realist. There's no shot in hell Nintendo's gonna leave this game out to dry now. Like, there's gonna be updates out the wazoo, and I'm gonna be here for each and every one of them. Because at the end of the day, it may be too early to tell, my opinion could change over time, but as it currently stands, this is my new favorite Mario Kart game. Is Mario Kart World perfect and free of flaws? No, of course not. At the risk of sounding like a gigantic Nintendo bootlicker, which some people already like to say on social media sometimes, outside of needing to give us Funky Kong, which I think everybody would be happy with, I still think this game is just fantastic and a worthy follow-up of arguably one of the biggest games Nintendo has ever made with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This game was well worth the time and effort it took to make it, because oh my god, it's so good. It could be better. Once again, give us Funky Kong. Maybe people will stop complaining then. I don't know. Currently, once again, I would argue that it is my favorite due to all of the reasons I mentioned before. Not every intermission track hits, but I love that they're there. Knockout Tour Online is some of the most fun I've had in any Nintendo multiplayer experience ever, and while for some, free roam may be a little bit too open and barren, for me, I've still been finding so much stuff to do. I've been putting in hours and hours trying to find as many P-switches as I can, and I haven't even come close to cracking 100. There's gonna be so much time spent in this mode alone. I love this game, but I don't know if I would necessarily say it's better or worse than 8. Again, it's just different, which I think is the right approach. You gotta keep in mind here, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling like crazy. Like regularly for Nintendo, it's still selling so many copies every single year. Why cannibalize those sales? You know, 8 Deluxe is gonna sit just fine, and there's gonna be sometimes I'm gonna wanna play that over World, because the tracks in 8 Deluxe are so good. Plus there's 96 of them. Sure, Toad Circuit from 3DS being in the Booster Course Pass, that sucked, because that track is not very good. But there's so many options there that I'm still gonna have a great time with that game. And rather than attempt to make a direct sequel where they try to completely replace all the success they had with that game, Mario Kart World is gonna sit there nice and pretty next to 8 Deluxe as another great Mario Kart game. Whether or not that alone is worth selling you an entire new console for, I don't know, that's up to you. Donkey Kong Bonanza's coming out soon, so I don't know, I feel like that's gonna do it for a lot of people if this ain't gonna do it. Also worth noting that I am also a guy who really wants a Nintendo fan service Super Smash Bros. Kart where they bring back all the Nintendo characters from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and go even crazier with it. I still think that would be super sick, but I don't know, that's gonna start some arguments in the comments. I don't wanna deal with it right now, to be honest. God, I'm just so happy they finally gave Daisy teeth. But that does it for my thoughts on Mario Kart World. For every other big Nintendo Switch 2 launch game like Cyberpunk 2077, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, not HD, a stupid-ass Nintendo Switch 2 welcome tour. That's all gonna be coming in a big blowout video coming very soon, and stay tuned for it. I think you're gonna like it. I just really want Funky Kong.